Hi all, welcome back. In today's class, we will discuss dictionary object and its usage in QTP. What is the dictionary object? So dictionary object is similar to SATU arrays in Perl. The people who are familiar with Perl should be knowing what is SATU array. Okay, so we will quickly discuss what is SATU arrays and we'll compare them with the regular arrays. So what is the difference between regular arrays and the assertive arrays? Okay, later we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages and we will start implementing the dictionary object. So what are these assertive arrays? Okay, before we actually go and discuss the assertive arrays, we will discuss what are the regular arrays. Okay, in general in VB script we will be using the line dim. We'll just say array. I will give the dimensional of the array. Let's say I will give the dimensional as 2. Okay. So what I can do is I can initialize the values in the array starting with the index value 0. So I can provide the values over here. So I can quickly provide the values for the other index value. Index QTP domain. Index 2, I'll provide the value as QTP training. Okay. In order for me to retrieve the value of array, what I need to do? I need to remember the index value. Let's say I want to extract the value QTP training message box. Okay. What I need to do? I need to provide the index value of this value. So what is the index value? It's 2. So if I provide the index value, I will be able to access the value in the array. If in the array what we need to do? We need to always remember the index value. But whereas coming to the assertive arrays, so these are the regular arrays. We'll quickly say arrays. Okay. So but whereas coming to assertive arrays, I just provide the pseudocode how it looks in Perl. Okay. I quickly provide the pseudocode of how the assertive arrays looks in Perl. It starts with the percentage symbol. I'll say array1 is going to be, we will be providing the key value pairs. Okay, key item pairs. So something like this. I'll just say first name and I'll provide the value like Shrikant, training. I'll just say QTP domain. Okay. Same way, I'll be writing one more key name. Tool. I'll just say QTP training. Okay. So here in Perl, how can we access this value Shrikant, or how can I access this value QTP training? So I just need to be providing something like this. Percentage array of 1. I need to provide the key. So which is going to be the tool over here. Okay. Unlike arrays where we provided the index value, in assertive arrays we are going to provide the key in order to access the value associated with it. Okay. For the value for the key, first name is Shrikant. The value for the key training is QTP domain, and the value for the key tool is QTP training. Okay. So even for the memorizing purpose or remembering purpose, it's simpler to remember assertive arrays because we call the array based on the key, which is going to be the string. But whereas in arrays, we are going to call the array based on the integer value index. Okay. So asset arrays are similar to, I can say asset arrays are similar to dictionary object. Okay. The dictionary object is actually developed by Microsoft. Okay. So QTP has inherited the dictionary object. Okay. So now that we discussed asset arrays and arrays, we can quickly discuss the advantages and disadvantages. So what is the advantage of using array, or what is the advantage of using asset arrays over arrays? We can quickly discuss. Advantages of, I can quickly say dictionary object, since asset arrays are nothing but dictionary objects, okay, over arrays, okay. So the advantages are going to be, it's fast, how fast we can retrieve the access the value. So how fast can we access the value? Accessing the values in the dictionary objects are fast because it's almost 3 times fast to the regular arrays, okay. And retrieving the values is simple because here we are providing the tool, which is nothing but the key as a argument to the array or the input to the array instead of providing the index value. But our dictionary objects are, asset arrays are two-dimensional, okay. So these are going to be the two-dimensional arrays, but general regular arrays are multi-dimensional, okay. Multi-dimensional, okay. Let's not worry about it, okay. So now that we discussed the differences between the array and asset arrays, and we understood the advantages of dictionary object. So what is the advantage of using the dictionary object in QTP? So dictionary objects are the alternate approach for environmental variables. Earlier we discussed how to use the environmental variables to pass the values between multi actions. If your test script has multiple actions, how can you pass the variable value from one action to another action? Okay. So dictionary objects are alternate approach for environment variables. Okay. So for me, in order to start using the dictionary object, what I need to do is I need to create reserved reserved object in registry. Okay. For me, in order to use the dictionary object, I need to create the reserved object in the registry. So let's learn where and how to create the reserved object in registry. For me, in order to go to the registry, I'll be using regedit. I'll go to the registry editor. So over here, let me go to the root path. I will be going to the current user. The current user, I'll be going to the software, Mercury Interactive, Quick Test Professional, and MIG Test. Okay. Over here in the MIG Test, I'll be searching for the reserved objects. Okay. Here are the reserved objects. Okay. So over here, I need to create a dictionary object. So currently we don't have any dictionary object over here. We need to create a dictionary object. Okay. I'll quickly copy the path over here. So the registry path is going to be this one. Okay. So there are multiple ways to do it, guys. One is using the user interface, which I'll be showing you right now, and there is other way to do it as well, using the programmatical approach using Windows script host. Okay. For me, in order to create a dictionary object, I'll be creating a new key. I can name this key as global dictionary. Okay. Over here in the global dictionary, what I need to do is I need to create a string value which will hold my class value or class name. I'll name this string as program ID. Okay. And this program ID has to hold my class name or the class value, which is going to be scripting.dictionary in my case. Okay. In order for me to use the dictionary object, I need to use the class value called scripting.dictionary. Okay. So now that I created the dictionary object in the registry, so what I can do is I can start accessing the methods. If I start typing the global dictionary, which is the reserved object that we created in registry, and if I use the dot, okay. So before we actually go and use the methods of the dictionary object, what we need to do, guys? We need to create the com object for dictionary object. Okay. We'll be using create object and the class value. Okay. Now that we created the reserved object in the registry, what I can do is I need to close and restart my QTP. Okay. I'll quickly save as dictionary objects. Okay. I quickly save the script and I will close the script. Okay. I will close the registry as well. So I'll relaunch my QTP. This is because we made a change to the registry. So I'll be relaunching the Quick Test Professional tool. Okay. Okay, let me open our previous test case, dictionary objects. Okay. So what we did was we created a reserved object in the registry. So what was the name of the reserved object, guys? We named it as global dictionary. Okay. Now let's start accessing the methods of the global dictionary using dot. So if I write the reserved object name dot, I'll be able to access the methods of the dictionary object. Okay. So before we actually go and discuss the method and properties of global dictionary, we will look at the programmatical approach of adding the reserved text object or reserved object to registry. Okay. For me to do that, what I'll be doing is I'll go to the registry editor. I'll delete the previous entry. Okay. So, okay, this is my previous entry that I did. Added the global dictionary to the reserved objects. Okay. What I'll be doing is I'll copy the key path. I'll tell you why am I copying the key path. I'll delete this key. Okay. So now that we deleted the key, I'm not seeing the global dictionary anymore. Okay. Let me minimize the thing. So we'll learn how to get the key added to the registry using the programmatical approach. So we already know how to access the registry. So for me, in order to access the registry, I'll be using the Windows script host, Windows shell. Okay. For me, in order to access the class, I'll be creating the object obj Windows script host. I'll say create object. The class value is going to be wscript.shell. Okay, I can quickly access the methods over here. So the method that we are looking over here is we need to write an entry to the registry. So I'll be using the reg write, which is the registry write. So it's asking me for the name. If you remember earlier, we copied the key value before we actually deleted the dictionary object. So this is the key value that we copied. So the path where you are going to add the dictionary, global dictionary, or anything to the registry. So this is the path where am I going to add my reserved text object or reserved object. Okay. Over here, what I need to tell guys, I need to add the program ID as well, the string value program ID as well, which will hold my value scripting dot dictionary. And the next argument is optional. Currently, we'll ignore it. Okay. So now that I wrote a line to write to the registry editor, so what I can do is before I run the script, I can release the memory associated with the object. Let me show you. We don't have any reserved object named global dictionary over here. So after I run this script, we should be expecting to see a reserved object with name global dictionary. Okay. Let me run the script. Okay, no runtime errors. So the script was successful and we were able to write to the registry on the specified path. We are able to add the global dictionary and the program ID string value. And the value that we provided to the program ID is scripting.dictionary, which is the class name. Okay. Let me quickly refresh the registry editor. I'll use refresh. Okay. So now I can see the global dictionary over here, which was added using my program. And let me check for the program ID. And we added the program ID scripting.dictionary. Okay. Great. So we were able to add the reserved object to the registry using the programming approach. So let me comment this code. Let's start learning what is the dictionary object and advantages of using dictionary object. As I told you previously, dictionary object is alternative approach for environment variables. So earlier we used environment variables to access or pass the variable values between multiple actions or test cases. So it's going to be the same. So if you have multiple actions in your test case, so you will be able to access the value of one action in the other action. Okay. So you will be using dictionary object instead of using environment variables. Okay. So what we'll be doing is we can quickly say global dictionary dot. We'll start access the methods and properties of dictionary object. So I'll say add. So it's asking me for the key item as we discussed in asset URLs. So the key is going to be, for example, I'll say key is going to be first name and the item is going to be associated with the key is going to be the name of the first name. The same way I can be adding multiple entries to the array. Okay. I can just tell the tool which is going to be the key and the value is going to be QTP. Okay. Now that we added couple of entries to our array. So what I can do is we'll start looking at the other methods. I'll say global dictionary dot count. Let me say I want to do the count. How many objects, how many entries are there in the array, or how many? I'll just say message box global dictionary dot count, which should be giving me the value 2. since we added two entries to the array. Okay, let me run the script. Okay, great. So I'm able to get the value 2 for the two entries that we added to the array in the global dictionary. Okay, the count will return the count of array. Okay, so let's say I want to check whether the specific key exists or not. If the specific key exists, I just want to show a message, and if it doesn't exist, I just want to show a different message. So what I'll be doing is I'll say global dictionary dot exist. So it's asking me the key which you want to check. I just want to say the key is yes name. Okay. So what this property will return is true or false. Okay. If the key exists, it will return a true value. If the key doesn't exist, it will return a false value. We can use the message box. Okay. Let me run the script. I should get the first message box with the value 2. Okay. Okay. So the thing is, we already added this object. So when we are executing this thing, these things are re-executing. Okay. I can comment this line since we already added the entries to the dictionary object. Okay. Now if I run the script, I should get the first message box with the value 2 and the value true. It is because the key that we searched fname exists. Okay, let me see if I'll just provide a different key. So I should get the message false. True, false. It means the key doesn't exist in the global dictionary. Okay. So what we can do is we can be using this exist thing to validate whether the key is existing in the dictionary or not. Okay. Let's learn other method in global dictionary. Dot item. So set or get the item for a given key. If you want to get the value for a given key, let's say I want to get the value for the key called tool, okay, which we added here. So it has the value QTP in it. So if I want to get the value QTP, I'll be using this method item, okay. So if I use the message box, I should be getting the value QTP, true, and QTP. Okay, the third message box is extracting the value associated with the key using the item. Okay, let's see what are the other methods that are available. Global dictionary dot items. So what it means, it will return an array containing all the items in the dictionary. Okay. So it's going to give us the array containing all the items in the dictionary that we added. So currently we added two items. Okay. So since this is going to return an array, I just extract the value to an array called I. Okay. Okay. Now currently I is an array. I is the array here. Okay. Which is holding my values in my dictionary object. Okay. So for me, in order to let's print the values in the dictionary object. Okay. So for me, in order to do that, what I'll be doing is I'll take a counter called counter cnt equal to 0 to I need to know the index value. I need to know the count value. I'll say global dictionary count Since we are starting the counter value from 0, I should be ending it with -1. Okay. So what I'll be doing is I'll quickly say message box. So since it has all the item values, so what I can quickly say is I of counter. Since I is an array, I'm using this counter to print all the values in the message box. Let me quickly comment my previous code. Okay. Let me run the script now. So I should be expecting to see the values Srikanth and QTP. Okay. So using these items, we were able to extract all the items in the array or dictionary object to the I array. And we used a for loop to print out the values in the array. Okay. Let's learn another different methods or properties. Global dictionary dot. So we looked at add, count, exist, item, items. So let me look at the key. So it says if you want to change a key to a different key. Okay. So the key that I want to change, let me say the key that I want to change is F name. I just want to change the first name. I'll be changing the first name to, let's say that I just want to change the first name to first name. Okay. What I can do is I can quickly comment the previous code. Let me run the script. Okay. So I was able to change the key name F name to first name. Okay. Now let me actually print out the keys name. Earlier we print out the values, that's items in the array. So now what I'll be doing is I'll say global dictionary dot. Earlier we used the items to get the array containing all the items. Now we want to get all the keys. So I'll quickly say keys. This is going to return an array. Okay. So I'll just take this thing to something called J. Okay. As we did in the previous approach, what I'll be doing is I'll take a counter. I'll set it to 0. I'll say dictionary. Okay, I need to say global dictionary, which is our reserved object. Dot count -1. Okay. Since we are starting the counter from 0. Okay. So I'll quickly see what are the keys that are there in the array currently after we change the key name of F name to first name. Okay. So what I can say is J of counter. Since J is nothing but the array which returned all the keys. Okay. Let me run the script. We expect to see element not found. Okay. This is because we already changed the first name to F name to first name. So if you are re-executing this line once again, what is happening is it is trying to look for the key called F name, which is already changed to first name. Okay. So let's comment this line. We don't need it because we already changed the key name from F name to first name. Okay. Now let me run the script and see whether the key in the array got changed or not. So you can look at here. Earlier it was F name. So now it got changed to the first name and 2. Okay. So I was able to change the keys as well. Okay. Let's see what are the other methods and properties that are available in dictionary object. Okay. So we discussed items, keys. So let's see what is this key. If you want to change a key, I think we already discussed this. Yeah, we already discussed this key. Okay. Let's see what is this remove. Let's say that I want to remove. I want to remove a specific key. We just need to provide the key name that you want to remove. I just want to remove the name called first name, which is my key name. Okay. Now after I remove, I just want to check the count of my dictionary object. Okay. So now if I run the script, so let me have this count statement even before to the line, remove line. Okay. So the first message box should show me the value 2, which is my dictionary object count. So after we remove the key first name from the dictionary, so this message box should show me the value 1, which is because we removed the key first name. Let me run the script. So it's showing the value 2. So now it is showing the value 1. Okay. So the value got removed. In the same way, I can remove all the entries in the array using remove all. Remove all the information from the dictionary. I can remove all the information in the dictionary using this remove all. Okay. So if I run this and if I use this global dictionary, it should show me the value 0. Okay. Because I'm removing all my entries. Okay. Count. Let me run the script. It should show me the value 0. Okay. This is because we removed all the entries from the dictionary. Okay. Let's see if there are any other methods or properties. What this is going to do is it is going to set or return comparison mode for comparing string keys. Okay. You can set this mode to 1. Okay. Okay. Okay, now that we discussed all the methods and properties associated with the dictionary object. Okay, now that we discussed all the methods and properties associated with the dictionary object, there is one more property, hidden property in the dictionary object. So let's even discuss, which is not listed out by QTP. Okay, as I told you, dictionary object is created by Microsoft. Okay, so there is another property, hidden property, which is not listed over here. So the property is, we'll discuss what is that property. Let's say I have, let's say I have the value string 1. Okay, I'll just say string 1 equal to some value QTP domain. Okay, so for me, in order to, so what will be, what is a property that was hidden? We'll check dictionary object. So I think it's global dictionary. Okay, global dictionary dot. So as I said you, it was a hidden property. So the hidden property was hash val. Okay, so I need to provide the string that we need to get the hash value generated for. Okay, I quickly assign this to the message box. Okay, let me run the script and see what happens. I got some number called 13. So what is this 13? So we had the string value QTP domain and we use the hidden property in dictionary object QTP domain. Okay, hash val, it returned as a value. So what this hash val is going to do, from string to text or string to integer. So where do we use this in general? Hash value is generally used in encryption. Let's say if you want to send a if you want to send a security text, if you want to send the text securely, what we do, we generally encrypt the text, right? So this hash val method is property is used generally over there. Okay, you can quickly refer to the Microsoft MSDN library for more help on this hash val. Okay. So now that we discussed all the properties and methods associated with the global dictionary, okay guys, now that we discussed all the methods and properties associated with the dictionary object, so let's see if there is a way to change the value in the dictionary object. So before we go and learn it, we will be adding some key item pairs to the global dictionary object, okay? Because earlier we have removed all the entries using the removal method. I'll be adding key name, F name, I'll provide the value Srikanth. Or the item is Srikanth, okay? So now that we'll learn how to change the value associated with the key F name, okay? In order to change, we already learned this, but we haven't tried it in this approach. Change the value for the key. So what we did earlier, we said global dictionary dot, we said item and we gave the key name, okay? So the key name currently we are going to give is F name and I can set the value over here. So I can say quickly QTP training. Okay. So now what we are doing is we are changing the value for the key from Srikanth to QTP training. Okay. So now what I'll be doing is after this, let me quickly get the value in the key named F name. Okay. What I'll be doing is I'll use message box. I'll say global dictionary dot. I'll be using the same property item and I'll just use the key name as F name. Okay. And I should get the value QTP training because we changed the value on this line. Okay. Let me run the script. Okay. I was able to get the value QTP training. So this method is used to even set or retrieve the value. Likewise, we can be using the setting the value to a different value or we can retrieve the value that is present in the key. Okay. Okay. So we covered today a dictionary object. We'll